This is Madeline Chassel. I am the SPI Policy Director. Joining us in a few minutes will be my teammates Edwina Rogers, CEO, and Johnny Montserrat, Alliance Director. They both have announcements for us today and pretty lengthy reports. But just so you see, anyone who is online here, you should be able to see that I've shared my screen of today's agenda. So you'll notice at the top, we have all the GoToMeeting details. We also have a quick plug for Nepal, which I think is worth plugging. So I'm going to do that verbally now. We do have partnerships, of course, with other wonderful humanist and secular organizations. So we are partnering to donate to Doctors Without Borders with the Center for Inquiry, our wonderful, wonderful partner. So you can find information on the web, on the call agenda, to donate to Nepal through the Center for Inquiry at secure.centerforinquiry.net. And we also have plugged the Society for Humanism, which has mobilized more than 1,000 volunteers throughout Nepal to assist victims. And you have a direct email address here for a name I'll probably butcher, but it's Uttam Nurala. And if Uttam is here, please correct me on how to say your name. And we have an email address there for contacting to help the Society for Humanism with their help with Nepal. So going forward, in a moment, we'll have Edwina Rogers joining us. She's going to talk to you about our mission. She's going to talk to you about our World Future Forum and the International Secular Leaders Summit, which is a very exciting project that we're going forward with this year. Registration will be open tomorrow on our website, and I'll let her give you all the details. We're also working on a community action network. It's a first of its kind initiative that we're also partnering with others on, and Edwina will give you all the details. And Johnny Montserrat will take you. Oh, do we have someone wanting to speak?
I'm here. It's Johnny. I'm here.
Oh, good. Okay, well, Johnny, that's wonderful. Do we have Edwina yet?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, that's great. Well, then I will give her, I thought I was killing time for us, so I am going to give over the call to our wonderful CEO, Edwina Rogers, and she'll take it from here for now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Madeline. So, hi, I'm Edwina Rogers, and this is our monthly update phone call that we are doing once a month, the first Thursday of the month at noon. And this is the time that we sorted out with our international partners that we could update it if we could find a better time. I know our poor colleagues in New Zealand, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, but there isn't a time that's perfect for everybody around the globe with all the different time zones. So with regard to the mission, I think most people are pretty generally familiar with what it is that we're trying to do. So we have, we're a think tank and we do research. We have fellows. We are identifying the top scholars who can speak out on the importance of separation of religion and government and many other major topics. And we have been assembling a very large coalition, and you'll hear more about that from Johnny Montserrat, but I know that there are more than 300 groups around the world that have agreed to participate in this coalition. Of course, we have a lot to talk about always in the U.S., but we do try to focus on what's happening outside of the U.S. also. Now, that turns me to our big event that we have planned for the fall. It's the first ever World Future Forum and International Secular Leaders Summit. So it's all set in that it's going to be held at the Phoenix Park Hotel, which is just 2 blocks from the Senate side of the U.S. Capitol. And it's right across the street from Union Station. It's a lovely historic hotel. We have an excellent rate of $249 a night. And the registration is already up and running. We've got our group code here for online reservations, and there's also a phone number that people can call. I don't see the phone number on here, but it should be. But it will be on our website to call and get that rate.
Can you give me the dates again, Edwina?
Okay, yeah, so it is Sunday, October the 25th, and we're starting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And from 2 to 5, it's going to be a session for international sector leaders, and we'll be talking about, it's a little bit loud, I'm not sure where the noise is coming from, but we're going to be talking about things that people who are running sector groups around the world. I know Johnny has done web scraping and found more than 6,000 groups around the globe that are free thought or humanists or atheists or etc. And so we'll be discussing fundraising, lobbying, how to run a group.
Edwina, hi,
Sarah,
sorry.
I think
Edwina,
you have
yes,
to
I'm
mute
going
the
to
line.
mute everyone.
Yes.
And you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay.
Okay, hold on one moment.
Okay.
Edwina, you're going to have to unmute yourself. So we can't hear you yet, Edwina. Hang tight on the line, everyone. Do we have you, Edwina? All right, I'm going to unmute all again, and we'll see if we can hear our lovely Miss Rogers again.
Okay. So, Madeline, I don't know the code to unmute myself.
I believe it's *6 or #6.
Okay, all right. I'll try that.
Okay, one moment. Thank you for. Oh, there you are. Perfect, Edwina.
All right, yeah, so it is *6, so that's the same code that I'm used to using. All right, so moving on to the International Sector Leaders Summit and World Future Forum. So we're hoping to have roughly, we're set for about 120 slots, and if we could get 30, 40 people from other countries, I think that'll be a very valuable event on that Sunday afternoon. Then we'll move into a cocktail reception, and then we'll have a seated dinner, and we'll have a keynote speaker that's going to give us an around-the-world geopolitical update on what is currently happening region by region, almost country by country, and also predictions for the future. So that is on Sunday. And then on Monday morning, we'll have the World Future Forum, which will be live streamed and will be emceed by Lawrence Krauss. And we will have 3 major panels where we will discuss the future of Earth's climate, the future of violence and terrorism, and the future of space exploration. And there will be 2 experts per panel. They'll take about 20, 25 minutes each and talk about where we are now, where we expect to be 50 years, 100 years in the future. And then we'll have discussants, which will be members of Congress on the appropriate committees, that will talk about the laws and the policy changes that we will need to have in place to be where we would like to be 100 years from now. So it's a very unique, interesting event. And then we will, of course, there'll be breakfast, there'll be lunch, we'll have conclusion. The lunch will be a networking lunch and a seated lunch. And then we will move on to our World Future Forum Great Debate, which is going to be at George Washington University Listener Auditorium, and that will be a separate ticket. The event, the 2-day event is $2.95, and then the event in the evening will be a separate ticket, and for students, $20, and then other seating will start at $30 and end up at $100. That's for the first 2 rows. So that will be the Great Debate. So basically, the Great Debate will be a conclusion of what was discussed throughout the day. So the experts will be available. They'll talk about, summarize their presentations, and then also what they heard from the members of Congress. So an excellent event for the sector community. And like I said, we only have 120 slots. We want to keep it small and cozy, so it's first come, first serve. Of course, we are saving a few seats for our VIPs and board members and things like that. And then the great debate, I believe the auditorium has like a between 1,200 and 1,400 seats. So there'll be plenty of space there, and we'll be live streaming both events, and we will also post the individual panels on YouTube. All right. So if we have any questions or comments about the World Future Forum and the International Secular Leader Summit, just speak up. You can press *6 and unmute your line. Sorry, it got a little noisy there. Okay, well, I'll move on to our next topic. You can interrupt me at any time. So I want to talk about the Community Action Network. So basically, this concept is for secular leaders to get more involved in their community, especially through their local public schools. And this is something that can be done around the world, not just in the U.S., but we're certainly starting it in the U.S. We're currently still working on the website and working on the guides and the tools that these secular volunteer leaders will need to get super involved first in their local public school, and then be aware and knowledgeable and involved in needs of the whole community and be seen as leaders in solving problems, real life problems that we deal with every day, in not just social meetings, but of course the social side is important too, but also getting things done. So there'll be a big launch probably in the next 4 to 6 weeks regarding this. It's kind of like a parent-teacher community action network, PT CAN. Together we can is basically the slogan for that. The World Future Guide, we have 20 submissions, and we're pretty much closing that out because it's gotten a little bit longer than we had initially wanted. So we're in the editing phase now, and we'll be launching that once we get all the articles edited and laid out and with the graphic designer, and have it printed, but also have e-copies, and that should be available by late summer, early September is when we'll be launching that. Now, the secular demographic guide, it is pretty much complete. I have a copy here. I'm looking at it. It has been through 3 or 4 rounds with the graphic designer because it's very dense with information and we don't want it to be too boring. So we've got all kinds of pullouts and charts and graphs and takeaways, which makes it a little bit more interesting. It has sort of the history of the secular movement and demographics kind of going state by state and country by country. And that should be released certainly by the end of May or early June. So the monthly calls, the next one is June the 4th, and then July the 2nd, August the 6th, September the 3rd, October the 1st, November the 5th, and December the 3rd. So it's always the first Thursday of the month at noon East Coast time. And next topic, we are looking for national and regional leaders that can come onto the call and brief us on what's happening in that particular region quickly so that we'll have a better understanding of the hot spots and where the needs are, and then trends, because things will start in one state or one country and then start moving around, and then the rest of us will have to deal with these trends. So that's what we're looking for there. But in the meantime, we'll certainly staff all of this. All right, so Madeline, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Edwina. My section will be brief. I just want to recap for anyone who doesn't know a ton about our structure at SPI, an area that I am doing a lot of liaising in, and I think an area that is essential to our Policy Institute, which is our wonderful fellows. So anyone who is on the web can see I've traveled over here to our fellows page. At the top on our website, you'll see our list of requirements for our fellows, what we look for in our fellows. And right now we actually have 29 fellows. We had one fellow become an advisor on our advisory board instead. But we're pretty happy with our collection of wonderful thinkers. And as well, we have other areas in which people are contributing as I'm slowly scrolling through the web page here. We have advocates who are contributing to our cause. We have a board of directors, obviously, and of course, our staff and our advisory board. So if you do know qualified candidates or you are a qualified candidate, do check out our website and see at the top what those requirements are. I think our team is pretty strong at the moment. I don't necessarily believe we're looking to add too many more at the moment, but definitely email us and let us know. And as a quick plug for one of our two wonderful newsletters, here is our Secular Daily Digest. It is not created from the ground up, as is our weekly newsletter, but it's our daily digest on secular, rational news bites from around the world in 4 topic areas: fellows, science, politics, and religion, all areas that we concern ourselves with. And if you travel to our website on the homepage, you'll see this fantastic image of a very excited child which says "Get it free." And if you click that "Get it now" button, you can subscribe to either the all original, all new weekly SPI newsletter or the SPI Secular Daily Digest, or both. You can simply check these check boxes here and put in your name and email information. And then click Get News. And hopefully you'll join us for that. We have a lot of resources available on the website, but we are particularly proud of the resources we send to your inbox. So that's really all I have to share today. And I want to move right along to Johnny Montserrat, our Alliance Director, who is working incredibly hard day in and day out to build our coalition and alliance. And Johnny, if you are available to unmute yourself, please try to do it that way. Otherwise, oh, you're wonderful. Okay, great. So here's Johnny Montserrat. Take it away.
You may know that the Secular Policy Institute builds websites, either fully funded or partially funded, and I'm happy to announce we have 5 this month. One of them is our own Community Action Network, which Edwina has been speaking about, but we've also just launched websites for the Hispanic American Freethinkers, which is pretty much done, the International Free Thought Film Festival, which is completely done, the United Church of Bacon, which is completely done. That's a real church in Las Vegas, Nevada, which has a joke name to protest how churches get too many privileges. And also the United Coalition of Reason has a new website. We're still working on that, but you can see it at unitedcor.org. That's unitedcor.org. And please contact me if you'd like to get a partially or fully funded website, because that is a fun way to help our coalition partners. We also help you by posting your projects to our projects page. The idea is to get a critical mass of projects there and then accumulate donors that want a cafeteria-style model, where at least one of the projects will interest each of our donors potentially. We have projects now up for the Atheist Alliance International, the Foundation for Critical Thinking, the Foundation Beyond Belief, which, by the way, works in Nepal. I was asked to mention that, and also the Secular Policy Institute, and you can find all of those on our website under the Projects tab. We're also working on finding new fellows and advocates. Advocates are people like the fellows who may not have a PhD or may not be a professor, but they still are leading thinkers. Working with volunteers, we now have 100 new leads for fellows and advocates, and we'll spend the rest of May and June reaching out to them and seeing who would like to join. We also spent some time in Las Vegas this month helping a protest. We helped to lead a protest against Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo Bank apparently discriminates against atheists, and you can find more information about that on the United Church of Bacon website or on the Secular Policy Institute news page. We helped them to organize 2 different rallies, which more than 100 people attended. We worked on press releases and reaching out to the press and getting journalists to attend. Ended up getting some national attention for our coalition partner through NPR and at the Huffington Post. And he's just spent a week in Great Britain, where we're now helping him there as well. So to recap this all, our coalition is not simply a list of people who happen to like us. We really want to engage with you and to help you. So please email me or call me. If we can help you, we're going to put our best efforts to work, because we know that helping you helps the whole movement and ultimately helps us, because we can brag about helping you when you're a success. And that's the end of my report.
Okay, Johnny, hi, it's Edwina. I just had one question. I was wondering, do you know approximately how many member groups there are in the coalition at the moment?
I did get your email on that. I've been so busy with the United Core. Their old website crashed, so I've been just going 24/7 on the new website for them. Our numbers are about 315, I think now, coalition members, which is the largest in the whole secular community.
Okay, all right. And then I just wanted to mention some other projects that we're working on that we're assisting member groups with. The Foundation for Critical Thinking, on June the 17th and 18th, their head, Linda Elders, is going to come to Washington, and we're going to host her. And we are working on getting her meetings with congressmen and senators and the White House and the Department of Education to discuss critical thinking. We also just recently hosted a representative from Turkey. There's a new group, Association of Atheism, there, and we've offered them a travel grant for the representative to come back and speak at Center for Inquiry's conference, which is in June. We also gave a grant to the Youth Atheist Conference that was in Northern Virginia to handle expenses associated with parking for everybody and also for travel expenses for their speakers. And then, of course, Johnny mentioned numerous other projects that we're working on. So please let us know about your needs, and if we can help, we're certainly willing to help. So, Madeline, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Edwina. And I'm actually not entirely sure if you wanted to go over with everyone the U.S. public policy updates and the international public policy updates, or if you just wanted to provide that to them as a resource.
Okay, yeah, I'll talk about it a little bit. I know we've got a couple of groups that we've invited to come on and speak, so I'll just quickly get through this and then we can get to our guests. So basically, what we're doing here is in our weekly newsletter and on our monthly phone call, we are outlining some of the battles and issues that we're working on in various states around the U.S. and at the national level in the U.S., and then also in other countries. And we have some good information here about how to get involved in the United Nations. A lot of our member groups are asking this question about how can they participate more in Geneva and in New York. So that's why we outline how you can get started by first attending and meeting everybody and sitting in the public gallery. And then, of course, then your organization eventually filling out the application and getting approval to be an observer in observer status. And I know that Michael Dodora with Center for Inquiry is able to attend a lot of these events in the UN that are coming up, and there are quite a few that are coming up, and we've got them listed here. Like, for example, the Human Rights Council, they're going to have their organizational meeting for this term on May the 26th, and I'll certainly try to be there for that and get additional information and then share it with everybody. And then we've listed other events that are coming up through the end of August that center around the Human Rights Council, which is the one that, of course, focuses on freedom of religion and other topics that we care so much about. So, and now, with regard to what has happened in the U.S., I'm not going to sit here and go over everything that we have down. And then I mentioned that every week we also have an update in major happenings in the state and also at the U.S. national level, and additionally at the international level. So we've got groups that are sending me little clips and ideas and press releases and news reports. Like, for example, our colleagues up in Canada sent us the information when their Supreme Court ruled that it's not appropriate to open town hall meetings and the like with prayer. So thank you very much for our friends there in Canada for sending along that information. So it's really good to hear about what's happening in other countries. Yeah, so we just highlighted a few things that are happening, but we've got a couple people who are on the ground, and we're going to turn it over. I'll turn it back to Madeline, and then let's get down to our project and member spotlight, and then we'll open it up and see if anybody has any questions at the end.
Wonderful. Thank you, Edwina. So yes, we are onto the section of our agenda today, the project and member spotlight. And if we do have Andrea Meyer here, and forgive me if I said your name wrong. Andrea, are you here? So remember, if you're on the telephone, you can press *6 to unmute yourself. Do we have Andrea here?
Hi, it's Edwina. Well, I know that Andrea said she was planning on joining us, but I do know that their event starts tomorrow, the International Free Thought Film Festival, and it's right in Orlando, Florida, and Johnny Montserrat has been very busy getting their website and their registration ready before their big event. So hopefully she'll join us before we have to hang up. But I just wanted her to tell us about the selection process, the films that they're going to be highlighting. I do believe it's a 3-day event, but I haven't had a chance to look at the new website since it was placed up. But we can move on and see if Morgan Romano is on the line.
Andrea is online. She's on the chat window. She said she unmuted using the web page. Andrea, try to use the *6 option on your phone.
Oh,
and if you're
there
not
we
on the
go.
phone, call in.
Yes, Andrea is here, and I would love to hear from her. So let me unmute everyone for, oh, Andrea, you are unmuted. That's interesting. Andrea, can you try speaking to us? Are you muted on your phone? All right, I'll give it one more shot. I'm going to unmute everyone for just a moment so we see if we can hear Andrea. Andrea, are you there? I think I hear you trying to speak.
Hugo.
Oh, hello, Hugo. Andrea, are you able to speak to us? Okay, so Andrea is working on speaking to us, and we would love to hear from you, so don't worry. We'll come back to you. I'm going to mute everyone again, and just a reminder to anyone, if you are on your phone, you should be able to press *6 to unmute yourself. If you're on the web, you should be able to simply click the microphone. And Andrea, don't worry, we will come back to you, and if you unmute yourself in the meantime, you can just say, hello, I'm here, I figured it out. At the moment, everyone on the whole is muted, and I would like to see if we have Morgan back with us. I know she was here earlier. It looks like she may not have come back, but I'm going to give Morgan one moment. Morgan, are you there? *6 if you're on your phone.
Madeline, I think she was going to try through Skype. You know, we had the free conference call service, and now we got the very elaborate, more expensive GoToMeeting. But maybe it's so complicated, it's harder to use than just the free service.
Oh, I don't know. Morgan was here earlier. She introduced herself to me. She's joining us not from inside the U.S., so she said, I'll be right back. And so she might just not be back yet. So I think we can be patient with Morgan also. Is there any way, let me just see, we'll give Morgan a few more minutes, and let me see if I cannot figure out how to help Andrea speak to us. So Andrea, if you want to chat with me in the chat section, maybe I can help. I'm going to unmute everyone again, and you should be able to speak if everyone's unmuted. Okay, there's a code. So it's *6 on your phone, Andrea, if you're on your phone. Thanks for bearing with us. I really do want to hear about the International Free Thought Film Festival, so it's worth the moment wait. Andrea, can you hear us now, or can you speak now? Because everyone should be unmuted. So perhaps you're muted on your phone with the mute button, your own phone's mute button. I certainly hear everyone. There's a lot of feedback.
Well, in the meantime, I'd love to hear. Has anyone made it out to Denver meeting?
I'm in Denver. This is Margaret. I'm in Denver.
Hi, Margaret. I am
Hi.
I am going to mute everyone, but if you would like to respond, please do press *6 on your phone.
It's saying unmuted this one. Can you hear me?
Is this Andrea?
This is Andrea. Is this
Oh,
working?
you did it, Andrea. Andrea, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So the only issue now is I'm going to mute everyone individually. So let me try to do that so we get some feedback to go away.
Wonderful.
And of course, I can't, if people didn't register online or with an audio code, I can't do that. So Andrea, how were you able to join us? Did you press *6?
I pressed *6, unmuted everything. I logged on and I called in on my phone.
Okay, so let me challenge you one more time so that you don't have this very strange feedback going on while you talk to us. Can you try that again? I'm about to mute everyone, and just try *6 again. Okay?
Okay.
Muting everyone. Okay, let's hang tight. This is very suspenseful and cinematic, which I hope.
It says I'm unmuted now.
Oh, wonderful! Hello, Andrea.
I exist. Wow.
Oh, that's great. Okay, good. So now we can hear each other, and we would love you to take the stage, Andrea, and tell us about the
Thank you for your patience.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
Okay, well, my name is Andrea Meyer. Some of you may know me as Andrea Steele. I've been an activist in the movement for lucky 13 years now. I'm based in Orlando, Florida. I am the founder and the director of the Free Thought Film Festival Foundation, which hosts the annual International Free Thought Film Festival. We're now in our 5th season, and the mission statement of the organization is to promote reason, critical thinking, and freedom of inquiry, very specifically through the medium of film. And we are a 501c3 nonprofit. We're not a community group that shows films on occasion. We are actually a one-of-a-kind organization structured for this very specific thing. I want to, first of all, thank SPI for funding and executing the redesign of our new website. That's at www.freethoughtfilmfest.org. Very excited about that and very grateful for their help on this. So our annual event for this year, it's 2015, the IFFF 2015, opening night is actually tomorrow in downtown Orlando, and it will run through the weekend, Friday night, Saturday, and all day Sunday, with a total of 21 films in the program. Now, the films that we showcase are selections from around the globe that have the potential to start a dialogue on the importance of using reason and science, of course, void of superstition, to explain the natural world and prove upon the human condition. And the independent films are submitted to us for consideration by the filmmakers themselves, and our key guidelines are that the films are not to be in a distribution contract, and they need to reflect any or all of our mission statement. And of course, production quality is very important to us. We want a professional program. So I do want to emphasize our mission statement, that is to promote reason, critical thinking, and freedom of inquiry through the medium of film. That is our selection criteria. Now, even though we're called a Free Thought Film Festival, we understand that the definition of free thought could mean something different to any individual that you ask. Now, our definition is a little more broad than one who might equate the word free thought exclusively with someone who is a non-believer. So for us, our definition is more eclectic, and it's to attract folks to our events and online resources. And we simply mean that free thought is the critical examination of truth claims based on reason, logic, and science. So claims and practices based on superstition, tradition, religious dogma, and or because someone perceived as important said so are equally held to that standard. So that allows for us to receive submissions
on a much diverse scale than to just pigeonhole us as a film festival for non-believers. With that broad sweep of potential philosophies, potential viewpoints, it gives us a really, really diverse and eclectic program. So for this weekend, some of the films that we were screening, they addressed social issues like disability rights, racism, labor rights, and there are a few films that would be of interest to skeptics, like the Maury Island Incident, which is a docudrama about the alleged origins of so-called, quote, men in black. And The Healing of Heather Garden is about a woman who beat multiple sclerosis through her own determined effort after 5 years of medical treatment failed. The filmmaker, Judith Morrow, will actually be in attendance to do a Q&A after that particular film. She's coming on her own dime, as filmmakers who do actually come to the film festival, they know that's not in our budget to bring them out here, but they're dedicated to what they do, so they make it out there. So I'm really hoping for a good turnout on Sunday afternoon so that the audience can engage and ask questions. I'm sure there'll be some skeptics in the audience asking what's up with what happened with her character. And we'll also be screening a film that debates whether Leif Erikson actually landed in Minnesota, and it questions the authenticity of a large runestone that was discovered there. And that film is called Lost Conquest. Now, on our website, there's an interactive poster that you can download, and if you click on the pictures of each of the film stills, you can actually watch the trailers, the ones that the filmmakers made available. And you'll see there are also films that are blatantly non-believers, very atheistic, and in all, it's diverse and a truly international lineup. And filmmakers who have attended in the past have given us very positive feedback on having the opportunity to actually network with other free-thinking filmmakers. And we have a platform that could potentially launch the career of the next Alex Gibney, which I'm not sure if you're familiar, that's the director of Going Clear, the HBO Scientology film. And these kinds of films can make an impact. They have a potential of raising so much awareness on issues like that. And of course, patrons who come to the film festival, they enjoy the camaraderie as well. For this particular film festival this weekend, the seating capacity for the theater venue is 75, and unlike conferences, we can never predict how many people will actually show up and attend each screening. As an organizer, this is like always a very nail-biting factor for me. Well-funded film festivals can afford larger venues and celebrity attendance in the marketing and the PR. And as any Film Fest planner can tell you, you can have the most fascinating program lineup ever, but what really draws folks to the event is if they think they have a chance to get an autograph of a celebrity. It's unfortunate, but that's the truth. That's our culture. So the celebrity presence really makes a difference. Now, our greatest needs as a film festival are in three major areas. We need resources for filmmaker awards and scholarships, because most film festivals have some sort of awards banquet, which is a goal for us in the next season. And we also need resources to cover the yearly venue costs, movie theaters, to rent a movie theaters. That's not exactly cheap. And filmmakers, they don't have a dream that their film will tour conferences. They're meant to be shown in a movie theater, so we strive to make sure that their work is screened in the proper venue. And we also need resources to attract celebrity presence to our events, and also filmmaker travel costs when they come for Q&As. That's also very important. Filmmakers tend to be starving artists, and we want to let them know that we appreciate all their hard work and their vision and the passion that they have for their art, and that we want to be able to accommodate those who take the time to come to the event. So again, the film festival is tomorrow in downtown Orlando, and there really is a lot more to cover on what we do as an organization, but since the purpose of my call is to highlight this upcoming event, I will go ahead and turn the floor back over to the SPI leaders, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me at info@freethoughtfilmfest.org.
Thank you so much, Andrea. This sounds very exciting for everyone. And if anyone does have questions now, remember you are all muted, but you can contact me or everyone in the chat window. As well, you can press *6 on your phone if you need to unmute and tell us anything pressing related to the Free Thought Film Festival. So in one moment here, I'm going to check and see if I can see that Morgan is in attendance. I don't see her, but I'm going to ask and give her just a few seconds here to join us. Hello?
This is Hugo. Hello.
Hello, Hugo.
How are you? I just wanted to add something to what was just said about the festival, and suggesting them to join the international network of human rights film festivals that we have created over a decade ago or so, and it adds visibility to an initiative like this, because the voice is spread all over the festivals around the world. So it would be interesting if the Free Thought Festival joins. I think that was the only thing I wanted to say. My suggestions, and hello to everybody. Sorry.
No, I appreciate it, Hugo. Thank you so much. And I do see in the chat that you've shared that link with us. So anyone who is available online can check out this wonderful URL that Hugo pasted right into the chat window for anyone interested in joining the international network. And anyone who is available on the web can also see, I'll paste that URL into our browser here so we can check out what that website is like. And look at that, there is a world map with all of the members of the Human Rights Film Network. That's wonderful, Hugo. What a great piece of information. Thank you. I'm really glad you unmuted yourself, Hugo, and spoke up. That's really useful information. Thanks. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna give Morgan one. Oh, Morgan is here. Morgan, are you available to talk to us?
Yes, hi. Sorry, when I relocated, it was a little hard to connect, but I'm on now. Can you guys hear me?
We can. There's a little background noise. Is that on your line?
Probably.
Okay, so there's laughing and talking. I just want to make sure only you have the floor.
Yeah, I have headphones in, so everything you guys are hearing is background noise through the microphone that I can't get rid of.
That's fine. I just want to make sure that you have the floor. There's applauding and everything.
Yeah, we're occupying a park right now, actually. Turkish government is trying to build another kind of shopping mall in a park area. So I kind of got dragged along to this event. I was trying to find a quiet spot so I could talk with you guys.
Well, this is wonderful. We actually appreciate that you are involved in helping the world right now. So tell us everything.
So thank you guys. First of all, I just wanted to thank SPI for including us, and especially to Edwina for all the help that she did for me when I was in DC, getting me in some meetings and meeting with some internationally. I'm an American. I just happen to be living in Istanbul right now, and I have the opportunity to work with these kind of issues globally affect all of us. So wherever we are, when we are somewhere, if we have the ability to try to make a difference, why not?
Morgan, that's excellent, and I do want you to know where you're going in and
the first here in Turkey and in the Muslim world.
You're, just so you know, Morgan, you're going in and out of our reception.
Yeah, you guys are too. I don't know if the connection is. Yeah, is it better if I talk like this?
It is a little better.
No.
We are hearing you in and out, and it's worth it to us to hear what you have to say, even if we only get half of it. So you tell us, you'll go in and out, and we'll hear most of it. That works for me.
Okay. Okay, and I will work on my internet connection issue for the next call. I really apologize for the difficulty in you guys understanding me. I didn't realize the internet connection would be so bad. So yeah, we're just trying to get our voices out there so that people understand what's happening outside of the United States regarding these secular issues. Again, I wanted to thank SPI for helping us. We're going to attend Reason for Change now, thanks to CFI and SPI helping us to get there. I found an advocate for SPI issues, and I had a meeting with him today, and he's very enthusiastic to support the cause in any way he can. So we'll be in touch about the details of what he can do and how he can kind of be the advocate voice for us over here in Turkey. Does anybody want to ask me any questions? I feel like with the connection issue, it might be easier if I explain a little bit on the next call, or if anybody wants to see my dossier, you can send me a message at international.autismderneği.org. I can write that.
Morgan, hi.
But it might be better if you guys ask me questions. Hi. Can you hear me?
That's for you, Edwina.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm here. Hi, Morgan. Yeah, we got your contact information on the agenda.
Are you having difficulty hearing me? Hi.
No, I can hear you fine.
Morgan, there's just a delay.
Perfect. So like if anybody...
So there's just a delay. So what we should do is Edwina should ask her question and then just pause because we might be overlapping each other.
Yes.
Okay,
the question is, tell us about the problem with your website when it was banned and how you were able to get it back up.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a great question. So our website was banned in a lawsuit with a bunch of other websites and blogs. And ours specifically was blocked for Turkish servers. You can access it, and you could, and now you can access it in Turkey as well, but through a VPN, going through another server or out of the country. So ours was specifically blocked because of a question on the forum part of our webpage. It didn't have any comments, but the question on the forum was, is Islam peaceful? So that was enough for the Turkish government to issue a ruling closing access to our website within the country through Turkish servers. So our board decided to remove that topic from the forum, and since then our website is accessible in Turkey now.
Wow.
And Morgan, tell us about your president received a death threat from a group that most likely is affiliated with Islamic State. Could you tell us a little bit about that? That sounds very scary.
Yes, absolutely. So the president of our association received a death threat that if we didn't cease and desist with our atheist activities, that he would personally make it his mission to find him where he lives and kill him. This organization is a legal organization in Turkey. I have to find the translated name of it, and I can let you know. But it's believed that they have affiliations with ISIS. So it's okay in the eyes of Turkish government for this organization to make a threat to a member of our organization, but it's an issue for us to ask the question, is Islam peaceful? So we have an open court case. Our president of the association has opened a case in a joint effort with the organization against this individual and their organization. So I will give you guys updates as things progress with that.
Thank you so much, Morgan. Edwina, did you have any other questions, or does anyone in attendance have any questions for Morgan?
Well, I just want to thank Morgan for being an excellent representative for the Association of Atheism in Turkey. And we look forward to working with her and the other members of that association on an ongoing basis. And we look forward to seeing Morgan again in Buffalo, New York at the Center for Inquiry event, and hopefully many other events in the future. So at this point, thank you, Morgan. Thank you very much for coming on the call today. I think it means a lot for people to hear from folks who are in other parts of the world with regard to what's going on.
Keep
So
fighting the good
ahead.
fight, Morgan.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and let you go now. And then I wanted to take a moment and hear from Margaret, if she's still here. Love to hear about how things are going in Denver with the American Humanist Association and their conference is kicking off.
Take care, Morgan. Thank you.
Yeah, let me just say thank you. Let me just say thank you before I sign off here because my connection's really bad, I think. I'll work on that for next time. And thank you guys for including us. It's really great that you guys are interested and you want to hear what's going on, and I will keep you guys updated. And yes, anybody who wants to work with us, anybody interested in more information, please contact me through the contact information provided on the call page, and I'll be happy to talk in more detail with anyone who's interested. You guys have a great day, and everybody keep fighting the good fight.
Thank you, Morgan. Take care.
Bye.
Okay, so I am going to put
Bye.
Bye, Morgan.
Hi.
I am going to make sure that I believe Edwina still is able to speak. And yes, if Margaret is here and can unmute herself, please speak up now. We'd love to hear from you also. So remember, you can press *6. We don't hear you yet, Margaret, if you are still here.
Yeah, I wanted to go to the conference myself, but it's Mother's Day weekend, and my son is coming to visit me from boarding school, so I have to stay in Washington. But we'll certainly get a report on that conference and Center for Inquiry, and the E-Skeptics are having their conference. There are many. I know Morgan and other folks in Turkey are going to a big conference in Germany and Europe that's being held shortly. So we do have on our newsletter and on our website a list of all the conferences that we're able to find out about.
Well, first of all, I want to say Happy National Day of Reason.
Thank you.
Everyone knows. Yeah, this is a national This is a counter to the National Day of Prayer, and we've had a lot of support for this. I'd like to see more local proclamations be approved, just as the national effort was. You can get copies of a proclamation for National Day of Reason and ask for your representative to declare that officially in your area. Just go to the National Day of Reason website, and you can copy and paste anything over there to help promote this. But yes, I'm in Denver, and the conference has not officially started, but we're looking forward to Lawrence Krauss as our keynote speaker. The board meetings are going on, so the American Humanist Association is very well funded and very organized, and lots of wonderful leaders in place. It's always a thrill to be around humanists here at their conferences. Does anyone have any questions about the National Day of Reason or anything else?
So everybody, this is Margaret Downey, and she runs the Free Thought Society, and it's headquartered in Philadelphia in the U.S. And in our newsletter that should be coming out in the next hour or so, I have a whole call out in the front section about the National Day of Reason and about the accomplishments of the American Humanist Association, that they were able to get a resolution introduced in Congress for the first time this year, thanks to Representative Honda. And there were 3 local resolutions, all out of Nebraska. What a crackerjack team we have in Nebraska. I know the United Coalition of Reason in Nebraska has been all over that and did an excellent job. I think 2 local communities and 1 at the state level. So yeah, so thank you, Margaret. Does anyone else have any questions or comments for Margaret? Enjoyed the conference there.
Yes, we'll do.
Okay, all right. So I think we just have a minute or 2 remaining. I was wondering if Hugo or anyone else on the international side would like to take a minute and speak and give us an update with what's going on or what they've heard or seen. That would be great.
Hugo, I'm going to unmute you in case you're having difficulty, and I do hope, although it looks like you've muted yourself, so Hugo, if you are there, you've been immensely helpful throughout the call, and we'd love to hear from you if you have any thoughts.
I don't know if Hugo's in Argentina this month or in Italy. We'd love to hear it.
There you are.
There I am. Hello.
Hello.
Well, no, I just wanted to comment on the issue of Turkey. I think that if it would be possible to pass on the information to the rest of the organization members, so as to send letters of support to the people who have been under threat with these death threats, so as to show that we have strength around the world, and to also to press the government about that. The Turkish government. I think it would be important to start showing our muscles and our solidarity. And well, I just came back from Argentina after a month. I don't know if you want to hear something about the situation there, or
yes,
maybe.
Yes, please. We would love to hear about what you saw in Argentina.
Okay, so I was in Argentina and Chile, and I'm namely a sort of South American connection for the SPI. So I've been involved there for several decades, I would say, in the struggle for secularism, and well, country by country, it would be a bit tough to go, and there wouldn't be enough time. But to make it short, I would say that Argentina is middle of the way country between full secularism and clericalism. So with the situation now of the Argentine Pope, we have a revival of Catholicism everywhere, and the popularity of this Pope is being used by the anti-secularists in order to push for religious education and more privileges to the Catholic Church, and so on and so forth. So it's not a bright situation right away. In most countries of Latin America, it's happening more or less the same, and unfortunately, the populist governments all over the place are not quite supportive of full church and state separation and so on. So Argentina is a particular case of a country that's moving backwards. It started to get better some years ago with women's rights and gay rights, for instance, but now it stopped. And for the rest, I would say the 2 more secular countries in South America are Uruguay and Chile. Those countries that are that have full church and state separation, and especially Uruguay, and they're very fond of it, and they want to keep the situation like that. And same goes to Chile. And the other important, the most important country in the region, which is Brazil, was totally secular, and this with the latest, the last years of this government, they are also going backwards and tend to become close to the Catholic Church and deny women's rights and so on and so forth. So the situation is not bright. I'm writing a paper or a short paper for our members, and that will be shortly available for everyone. But that's how it goes now.
Thank you,
Okay.
Hugo.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you. So, so this is Edwina, and I'll just wrap up. I know there are issues in Europe, and maybe we'll highlight them next month. So we'll be back on the 4th of June, which is the first Thursday at noon. And I want to hear more about the tax. There's an old tax that's been on the books in many European countries where they collect 3% income tax and they send it to the Catholic Church. If you were born Catholic, and I know they have that in Switzerland. I know they have it in Germany. I believe they have it in Italy also. They even tax your dog there. So, but all this money is going to the Catholic Church. So much money, they don't even know what to do with it all. Very few people in the churches, of course, and that's how they end up with scandals like, gold plate bathtubs and things of that nature. I'll be at the Israeli embassy tonight having dinner with the deputy chief of mission. I've got my list of questions and things to bring up with him, mainly concerning the treatment of women in Israel by the more orthodox sect there, in that, not wanting to have them on public transportation because women are unclean and they might be touched by them. So that's something that we need to focus on, and we've even seen that here in the U.S. With flights to Israel, where the Israeli gentlemen don't want to sit on the plane next to women because of that. So there you have it. That is our report for this month, and we will be back in June. I'm sure if you were here the whole time, you heard of a wide variety of activities that we're involved in and all the support that we're offering groups around the world, and our hope to facilitate coordination in order for secular groups to be more productive and feel connected and be able to get the resources, the much needed resources that they need. Okay? So we will record this call. It'll be recorded and it'll be on our website, and the agenda is there also with all the information. Almost everything you heard on the call was written in the agenda also, with the exception of the report from Margaret Downey and also Hugo. Okay, Madeline, any last words?
No last words. I do want to just make sure if anyone has any pressing questions, they get to ask them now. Remember, you can *6 or send a chat message or unmute yourself online. Any pressing questions or concerns? I did send all of our email addresses, Edwina, Johnny, and myself, to the group on the web here in the chat window. So if anyone has any questions they think of after we depart, you may email any of us there. All right, that sounds like it. So Edwina did it much better than I can, but thank you all so much for being here today from around the world, and we'll meet next month.
Great, thank you. June the 4th. Goodbye.
Bye.